Hello and welcome to the news of October 3rd. I'm going to start over.
It's fair.
God damn it. This is not going to set a good pace for this video. Oh, no. I can't. I fucked up the first sentence. This is going to go poorly. Hello and welcome to the news for the week of October 3rd. I am joined once again by the illustrious Maxi, wielding his new catchphrase. Maxi?
Hello.
Oh, he did it. Hey, it's working out great for you. I know last week everyone loved that catchphrase. Again, all I want to see in response to any video that Maxi's in is just his catchphrase, which is just hello in lowercase Comic Sans. I think we're going to get a shirt for that at some point because people wanted one. And then on the back, it'll just be lowercase Comic Sans bye. But without further wait, let's just hop straight into the news. And we're going to talk about something really important. Maxi, let me ask you a question. When you think of like a super gamer, what do you think the most important thing is, Maxi?
The collection of Mountain Dew and Dorito fingers.
No. It's about the size of your keyboard, Maxi. Would you agree that the best gamers have the biggest keyboards?
Look, I've always been the kind of guy who says it's not about the size of your keyboard, but it's about how you use it. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. We all know how the world works, though, Maxi. And because Google, the illustrious Google, they're billionaires.
No, listen. Look, I'm interrupting, dude. I'm interrupting. Don't be fooled by the keyboards you see on the internet and all these videos that you're watching, all right? Your keyboard size is more than adequate, dude.
No. Not according to Google anymore. And Google is a multi-billion-dollar company. And let me tell you, Google's got us all beat. And Google...
Never done wrong, Google. Never done wrong.
We'll see about that.
Foreshadowing things to come.
Foreshadowing. Oh, just ignore the title of this episode. Don't let it be spoiled. But Google Japan has absolutely blown everyone away, and they've made the most powerful keyboard ever designed, and that is a single row of keys that's 1,650 millimeters long, and it is just a massive yardstick of a keyboard. Maxi, how do you feel about using this for like Call of Duty?
Look, I swear to God, most of the people that are on my team, whenever I get match made, are using this keyboard anyway. I thought it already existed. I think it's stupid.
This
is the stupidest
so
thing I've ever seen.
Look at the man in the video holding it, though. He's holding it like a cello player. He's like, behold.
Even in the video, he says that the reason they invented it was for people with overcrowded desks. Maybe you've got documents and things piled up. Dude, did you have to invent a whole keyboard? You could have just cleaned your desk.
I mean, I kind of want to buy one, and I talked about this with you. And I know this is like, some people are just going to be face desking at how dumb this idea is. But I feel like buying one of these keyboards. Did you see that it connects together like Legos, first of all? I feel like that's a selling point on its own. But I want it, and I want to do a Twitch stream where I'm playing Call of Duty with it or something, and I have like 3 down cams on my keyboard. Because one's not going to be enough, but like 3/4 of my screen is just keyboard cams.
I also want to point out that I will probably buy one when they get RGB. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a real gaming keyboard if it doesn't have RGB.
Yep. And honestly, like, also look how easy it is to clean, dude. You just run your brush down the entire length of it and it's done. I think this is the next iteration of gaming keyboards. And honestly, Razer, if you anybody at Razer or Logitech, you're watching this, where's your clap back? I want to see your comeback to this because you're getting outdone. I'm actually questioning to see if this is real or not now because I genuinely want it and I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not getting it.
Oh, how the unmighty have fallen even further. And I know for those of you that have followed me forever and from the previous news articles and things that we've done, I don't like Shenmue. And to see that the Shenmue anime already failed so soon out the door after Shenmue 3 was such a garbage piece of crap game that I never want to think about or even play again and would rather be waterboarded than playing. It's just good to constantly see it fail because it's bad. Everything about it is bad. It was bad when it came out in like 2001. 1 and 2 were bad. Shenmue 3 was bad. I just don't want it anymore. The animation was announced. It was co-developed by Adult Swim and Crunchyroll. And the first season was so bad that there's going to be no season 2. And there's really not much more to say about this other than the fact that good. I am spiteful. This is the only thing I'm spiteful about, and I'm glad it's failed. Maxi, do you think my passion is warranted? Do you know anything about this?
I think your passion. I don't know anything about Shenmue, but I think your passion is warranted. I will say it's another L for Deep Silver, who published Shenmue 3 and Saints Row. These guys just can't get anything right, can they?
No, they can't. Wait, Deep Silver? Oh no, they were Shenmue 3? I forgot about that. And this Saints Row, it's making so much sense, dude. Shenmue 3 was garbage. Thank God it's over. Maybe this will be the final nail in the coffin and I never have to hear about Shenmue again. Just let it die, dude. Just let it stay. It's done. It's dead.
All right, Dal, let me ask you a question.
Okay, and no, we're just friends.
How many times have you bought Skyrim?
Twice.
I bought it on Xbox when it first came out, Xbox 360.
Uh-huh.
And then I think I got a free copy of it on the Xbox One. And then I bought the remastered version and the normal version both on Steam when I got my PC. So I bought the game 4 times. Well, the reason I asked, Del, is because I don't know if you're aware, but, well, I know you're aware because you've read the article.
Yeah, absolutely. No, leave this in. Leave this in. You're doing great. Come on.
People want bloopers. Here are bloopers. Now, look, Del, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Skyrim is finally coming to the Switch. For a clean $70, you too can play Skyrim at 12 FPS.
So
$70.
Let me get this straight. In 2011, when I bought Skyrim the first time, it was $60. Yep. And now for a re-release on the Nintendo Switch, I'm paying $70.
Yeah. So basically, look, obviously we know that with what's been going on, the gaming industry has finally started to make a push to make games more expensive. We are seeing the quote-unquote dawn of $70 games. A lot of AAA releases like Final Fantasy VII, the remake of that, obviously, the new Call of Duty, they're pushing for a little bit of extra cash. That's fair. You know, the gaming industry gets more expensive, more stuff needs to happen.
There's an insult to injury to this too. It came out in 2017 on the Switch at $60 as the base edition. The $70 version is for the anniversary edition of the Switch edition.
Don't get confused. What do you get with it? Well, you get the game.
Okay. All right, good. That's a good thing to start with, at least.
You get 48 previous Creation Club items. So you get some mods that were for sale by Bethesda, as well as 26 new Creation Club items. The Switch never got the special edition, so this is a new release, and it's also the first instance Skyrim Special Edition's upgraded version of the Creation Engine on the console. I know it sounds confusing, but basically the game is slightly prettier than normal Skyrim with a couple Bethesda selected mods, and all you have to pay is $70.
Well, is there a free upgrade if you own the base game?
Don't make me laugh.
God darn it.
What is Nintendo doing, dude? Like, it's crazy how everybody knows that Nintendo is just... they are a gouger of a console, right?
Yep.
Like, even in the Splatoon review that I did, I spoke about the fact that Splatoon 3 is not worth the price that it's selling for. But it's pretty rare for any Nintendo game to be worth it. I think you can buy Shovel Knight on Steam for $8. On Nintendo, it's $45.
Yeah.
It's crazy, the pricing on Switch. I don't know where they get their value from, but... yeah, Skyrim Anniversary Edition coming out on the Switch, $70.
Yeah, if any of you are buying it, let us know so we can target you.
Speaking of bad news, Beyond Good and Evil 2 has broken a record.
Holy crap, is it best game ever?
It has broken Duke Nukem Forever's record for the longest game development time.
Didn't you actually call this?
I did.
You called this.
I did like 3 or 4 news videos before I said that it is creeping up to Duke Nukem Forever's development period, and we've officially, as of a couple days ago, crossed that threshold. I'm thinking about myself, how old I was when I saw the first trailer and how excited I was for it, and how much has happened in my life since then.
Bro, I feel like a boomer because it came out when I was like 18, dude. Wait. Yeah, when I was 18. Holy crap. And I'm over 30 now.
The first ever trailer for it came out in 2008.
Yeah.
I was 15.
My God. It's
so
5,239 days according to this. I can't even. Is it? There's no way it's the same game. They've had to have restarted like 7 times, right?
Oh, sure. That's what they did with Duke Nukem Forever. They changed it over and over and over again. To give you guys a little bit of a throwback in terms of if you can't really fully grasp how long ago 2008 was. In 2008, when we saw the first trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and were told, by the way, in that first trailer that it was coming out within a year or so, Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Metal Gear Solid 4, Little Big Planet, Gears of War 2, Call of Duty World at War, Dead Space, Mario Kart for the Wii, and Left 4 Dead, as well as Far Cry 2, all came out in 2008.
But I mean, like, the thing is, it's like, I like the quote in this article. It says it's dubious honor. Ubisoft continues to insist, to our astonishment, that the game is still in the works and that it was only 2 months ago that the actual lead writer left the company and quit after 15 years. And I just want to say, this dude got paid to write for this game for 15 years. I want him to do a documentary on this because I want to know, like, what was he doing for 15 years? If I wrote something for 15 years, do you know how many freaking books I could have if that was my job 8 hours a day, 5 days a week? It just blows my mind. I can't even imagine. There has to be like 65 stories he's written, and they've just thrown them all out over and over again.
A few people have pointed out as well that the original description and trailer for the game has little to no resemblance to the version of the game that trailered at E3 2018. Yeah. So people are saying that the comparison to Duke Nukem might be unfair. I disagree. I think it's very fair because in reality, I think if we were to go back and look at the very first trailer for Duke Nukem Forever and then have a look at the final product that came out, I don't think they were the same game.
No, they're not.
So,
they're absolutely not. Yeah. I honestly would be okay if they renamed it from Beyond Good and Evil to Beyond Good and Evil 2. Just double down.
I think it'd be a lot more forgiving if we could actually see the progress. Because when was the last time we heard anything about this game?
I honestly don't think it exists, and I feel like honestly, this just sounds so sketchy that people were being paid to work on something that may or may not exist for 15 years. Like, what the? That's so long, dude.
I wonder what his salary was per year. I wonder how much money Ubisoft spent on him to then scrap pretty much everything he did.
His computer? He had to just spin in his computer chair sometimes.
It's crazy. I'm not holding my breath. And here's to 20 years.
All right, moving on. 20 years. Let's break that record even more. Now the big article that this whole video is going to be named about, and obviously a lot of the stuff we talked about will be trimmed down getting to this point, but Stadia, as we predicted several times in previous news episodes, is closing down in January, and all hardware and software purchases will be refunded. And this is just crazy news. Not so crazy in the sense of Google canceling a project they've worked on like Google Glass or any of the other hundreds of things they've done. But the fact that it came so suddenly that a lot of people who should have known about it coming had no clue. Maxie, what do you think are the reasons why Stadia is shutting down? Like, what was it plagued with problem-wise?
I think the Stadia is probably shutting down for the same reasons that the Stadia should have existed. It was a system that was brought in way too early, put on an infrastructure that barely functioned, and expected to do well across international borders. It was a bad idea from the get-go. I'm surprised when I looked it up and I found out that monthly users for the Stadia hits around 220,000. That's crazy to me. I can't believe there's 220,000 people who have selected to have a subpar gaming experience.
I mean, so Stadia is a huge project. And now keep in mind, for those of you that don't know, there are many developers that were developing games specifically for Stadia and were promised support and all this stuff from Google. And there was a lot of money being put into these things to be made for the Stadia platform. Obviously, you had Google trying to get some exclusives on there, trying to push like incentives to get more people onto the platform. But at the end of the day, it was built for an infrastructure that didn't exist. And there was a couple of other streaming services that were trying to come out and do stuff before. I remember I went and I can't remember the name of the company, but I saw an event in Los Angeles for a streaming company that was doing this exact thing like 2 years before Google tried to do it, and it failed miserably. And then Google tried to do the same thing. The only one that's even marginally successful is the NVIDIA one. And to their credit, NVIDIA has made huge strides compared to Stadia, but like you can't use this in like 60% to 70% of the United States, let alone most of the places in the world. And I just don't know who this was for. I don't think anyone wanted another marketplace or another place to play games that you don't even physically own. And to see that it's closing is a shocker, not really in the sense that it's closing, but that it took so long and they burned so much money on it.
But this is what Google does, right? If you look at killedbygoogle.com, you can literally see all of the projects that Google has released that have just not worked out. And you read through it, and it reads like... oh, fuck. Hang on. Cut this for a sec. What's that place called that exists in America? Oh, it's like in Los Angeles. It's where all like the nerds go to make stuff. What's it called? Something Valley or...
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley, thank you. So you look at this Google graveyard thing, and it literally reads like a Silicon Valley bad ideas list. Some of these things, cameos on Google, AngularJS, core mode jobs, YouTube Go, like the amount of stuff that's in here, it's not surprising that a lot of this stuff failed. And when you really look at what the Stadia was, can you really be surprised? They also said in 2021 they were cutting development plans for the Stadia, but then kept insisting that it was alive and well. So, I think the writing was kind of on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest things that I wanted to cover in this article, other than the fact that Stadia is closing down, I believe on January of next year, it was like January 18th. Yeah, January 18th, 2023, is that, all these developers I talked about that were developing games for this and actually creating content for it. And a lot of these devs that were only making code bases specifically for Stadia, which I believe runs on Linux and not Windows, were not told about this before this was announced on Twitter to the general world. So imagine you're a game developer and you've been working for the last year to develop a game. Even if you're an indie dev, you have a small team, you don't have a lot of money, but you're putting all your eggs in one basket by developing something specifically for Stadia because Google incentivized you, only to find out through a tweet that you're no longer allowed to basically post your game, that it's shutting down, and all this effort was for nothing. And one of these examples is in this tweet. You can see Tangle Tower was due to launch in Stadia in 2 days. And the article
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Tangle Tower was supposed to launch on Stadia 2 days after the article was posted saying Google was shutting down Stadia. They weren't told or informed about it. They had been working with Google, and the first time they heard about it was through the article.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. They're not the only ones either. Brandon Sheffield of Necrosoft said, I know somebody's having a great time laughing, but Stadia had the best dev revenue-earning streaming service, and they were launching the game in November and in a worse situation. Simon Roth tweeted the same thing. Happy to see months of my work going in the bin again. Some developers have come forward and said that they don't worry, they're going to be doing things. IO Interactive has said that they're looking for ways for people to be able to convert their save files across from Stadia to other platforms like Steam, etc. And apparently Bungie is looking into how to support Destiny 2 players who have been playing on Stadia as well. So it's nice to see a lot of developers understanding that this is really, really inconvenient and trying to help out their fan base. Personally, I think this is just Google shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to the gaming industry. I think a lot of us are going to be sitting around next time Google announces something in the gaming space and thinking, nah, I'm not doing it again. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, especially when you, like you said, you bring up the people that are working on games like Hyper Gun Sport and how Google was basically, they built their entire design around the developer split and reimbursement program. And now Google's just like, nah, sorry. Good luck getting your debt back. Good luck shipping your game. We're done, and we're not going to tell you. And to their credit too, a lot of devs are saying that Google's not even talking to them. Like, Google's not responding to them. They're not commenting to them on this. They're not communicating. It just seems like Google's just pulling the plug, trying to save face for the average person by reimbursing things and just shafting all the developers that aren't big enough to make a deal about it.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of bad news. Lots of bad news today.
Yeah, and so I agree with you, Maxi. I don't think I'm ever going to touch another Google gaming product for at least the foreseeable future. It's already bad enough we deal with a lot of that crap over here on YouTube, and we could talk for hours about like Google management of YouTube and the systems that work and don't work and all this integration stuff that Google tries to force. But it's just, this isn't a shocker. It's just sad. It's just sad that people are being treated like this.
I also want to point out, for anybody who's watching this video who might think to themselves like, oh, it's weird that like nobody talks about how bad Google fumbles a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to YouTube. Like, why aren't creators talking about this more and stuff like that? And I want you to understand that as creators, there is a genuine fear that comes from us that if you talk bad about the platform or about the people that are working on the platform, that you will see, you will be punished in ways that you can't even fully understand or even notice. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very likely that or very possible, sorry, I'm not going to say likely, but I'll say very possible that if you were to say something that the overlords at YouTube didn't like, it's very easy for them to put a chokehold on your channel and stop channels going in. Think about all the times you've heard of creators saying things like, for some reason, my viewers are being unsubscribed, or I'm not appearing in your recommended or in your sub feed and all that kind of stuff. This stuff happens on the regular. And so in situations like this, where it's like, we really want to sit here and tear this apart, but also at the same time, we kind of have to think about our livelihood.
Yeah.
So I want you to understand that it is a bit of a juggling act, but we're as disappointed as you are, maybe even more so behind closed doors.
One final thing from this, though, that we do want to mention is that I got to give PC Gamer some credit, and I want to give Kotaku some credit and a few other people. There was this man who is a well-renowned TikToker, or world-renowned TikToker over on TikTok and on YouTube for Red Dead Redemption 2's online mode. And the TLDR is that he has over 6,000 hours in this game, which is over 250 days. And he's going to be losing his save with the Stadia transfer. But I just wanted to do a shout out and a high five to PC Gamer and Kotaku and all the other articles, other like journalist websites, for reaching out to Rockstar. They're trying to get his save saved, and they've reached out to Rockstar. They've sent them emails. They got this guy's back. I can't imagine what it would be like, as you can see from his tweet right here, to lose almost 6,000 hours of progress in an online game mode that you committed to and submit, like, you know, you put your time into, just over mismanagement. So here's to hoping, man. Hey, if this article helps in any way, I hope you get your account save transferred. I'm sure Rockstar will do it for good PR, but I get your frustration. And I don't think anyone has any understanding of how pissed off he is other than him.
It's also worth noting that there are methods that exist right now to transfer your single-player progress from Red Dead Redemption 2 on Stadia to PC, but there's no multiplayer transfer, and that's where a core part of Color's content comes from, is multiplayer moments, people giving him challenges, use certain guns, go into certain modes, and all that kind of stuff. So he's hoping for a one-time character transfer to save his progress, but I'm going to be honest with you, Color, as someone who's copped a bit of a raw end from a particular developer before, I don't like your odds, man. I really don't like your odds.
Well, that's going to be it for the news today. A lot of news, mostly about Stadia, some funny things, all that good jazz. Maxi, as with every single news video that we do, I want you to give the commenters down below something to talk about.
You know, look, guys, I know that before I came along and joined the channel and stuff like that, you know, I saw the comments in the news videos, you know, Dell's not very intelligent. He doesn't really know things. He doesn't get anything right and all that kind of stuff. And then, hang on. I'm talking to my fans. And then I come in and I'm just constantly saying all these things that are always right and all that kind of stuff. And I get that can seem intimidating. I'm curious. When do you guys think Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to come out?
I honestly watched that. Wait, I'm confused. What was about the smearing of my name?
I just had an opportunity and I took it.
Okay, well, that's fair. I'll remember this.
Remember this come Christmas bonus time.
You know the Tales of whatever games where it's like X name will remember this.
Yeah.
Delrith will remember this.
No, but for reals, like, you know, we obviously nailed the joke, the comment about Beyond Good and Evil surpassing Duke Nukem. Do you guys think it's going to come out? And if so, when? What year do you think it's going to come out? I want to actually genuinely see some predictions, okay? I want to see date and year predictions, right? If one of you nails it, and I'm talking to the day and the year, you nail it, your copy of Beyond Good and Evil 2 is on me. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, whatever console Google comes out with next, it's all yours, all right?
Terms and conditions apply. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like the video. Hey, we appreciate
that's
you
getting
all.
Cut.
and until the next video, this is Delrith and Maxi, and we'll be seeing you. Bye.
Bye.